been of immense significance. We can reflect on this memory of CANMUN as an enjoyable experience, enhancing our skills and developing our idea of the world.
And of course, we appreciate the hard work and dedication of all participants, including delegates, EB members, organizers, and volunteers. Without each and every one of you, this event would not have had this fruitful outcome. It is now time to start off with the closing ceremony. Firstly, we would like to call the Charge d'Affaires on stage for a few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, delegates, my fellow Secretariat members, and distinguished Executive Board members, it is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as the Charge d'Affaires of CANMUN 2023. As we gather here to bring this remarkable conference to a close, I am reminded of the profound journey that has led us to this moment. 5 years ago, my life became deeply intertwined with CANMUN in a manner that has indelibly marked my journey. It was 5 years ago when my brother ascended this very podium, not as a delegate or a chair, but as the Director General of this prestigious conference. This conference has demonstrated that it is not just a platform for intellectual growth and diplomatic skill building, but also a place where future leaders are forged, where dreams and aspirations are nurtured, and where a global community of young minds come together to tackle the pressing issues of our time. Today, I can't help but reflect on the profound impact CANMUN has had on me. It is a reminder that the legacy of this conference extends far beyond the walls of this room. It extends into the lives and aspirations of each delegate, into the classrooms where we apply the knowledge gained here, and into the communities where we strive to make a positive difference. Most importantly, I want to express my immense gratitude to the entire CANMUN community. I would like to thank my fellow Secretariat members for their dedication and hard work, the delegates for their participation and contributions to make this conference a success, the faculty advisors, Mr. Nathan and Mr. Abraham, for always believing in me, the EB members for conducting the various sessions of strenuous debate over the last 2 days with superb efficiency. I would also like to thank support staff for helping us organize this conference. I would like to thank the cafeteria staff for the delicious food. And finally, the senior management team for their guidance. As we bring the curtain down on this year's CANMUN, I implore each and every one of us to carry forward the spirit of unity, collaboration, and diplomacy that is the very essence of this conference. Let us remember that each of us possesses the power to implement change, inspire others, and lead with distinction. Let us depart from here not solely as delegates, but as ambassadors of peace, champions of justice, and emissaries of understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Adi.
Now we would like to call upon our esteemed Executive Board members to facilitate them with a certificate of appreciation. I would like to call our DP coordinator, Mr. Gaurav Das Sharma, to present the certificates to our EB members. Next, Disarmament and International Security Committee, Co-Chairperson Yash Mutnalkar. Co-Chairperson Dash Agarwal. Moderator Anirudh E.A.
Nations Environment Program, Chairperson Pranav Srinivas, Vice Chair Deeksha Gupta, and Moderator Tejas Rao.
Social, Cultural and Humanitarian Committee, Chairperson Kaustubh Sheshatri. Vice Chair Rohan Nagesh Rao. Moderator Saishan Kotaria.
United Nations Human Rights Council, Co-Chairperson Sai Sudhir Satish, Co-Chairperson Pani Srivatsa, Moderator Riya Swaminathan. Continuous Crisis Committee, Assistant Director Aditya Gujjar. International Press Corps, Head of International Press Tahir Dosaji, Editor-in-Chief Ananya Narayan, Head of Photojournalism Kahishna Mariam.
DC, Chairperson Bhuvin Adil, Vice Chair Kashish Jogaru. guiding our delegates through these 2 days. We would like to call upon the MUN faculty advisors, Mr. Abraham and Mr. Nathan, to present the certificates to the campus ambassador and our volunteers who work tirelessly in all the committees and ensured smooth functioning of the processes.
We would like the volunteers to come up on stage as we announce your names. First is Ishita Razak.
Shavia Etlam.
Delisa Mary.
Adrian Alphonse.
Madhushri H.
Sushmita S.
Dhanush Raj Ganesh.
Bharvi Shankar. Srishti Paul. Drishti Paul. A big round of applause for our volunteers.
We would like to appreciate the efforts of campus ambassadors. Request Ayan Arif to come up on stage and collect his certificate.
Thank you. It is now time to recognize our fabulous organizing committee members who made this conference come to life. We kindly request our Assistant DP Coordinator and MUN Faculty Coordinator Ms. Priyadarshini Das to come up on stage to present the certificates.
USG of Media and Communications, Arnav Kaushik and Ananya Nayak.
USG of IT, Shreya Aradhya and Shubham Chaudhary.
USG of Finance, Diya Mohan and Vaishnavi Vignesh.
USG of Policy, Anushri Maitra.
USG of Committees, Jessica Abani and Anagha Gupta.
USG of Delegate Affairs, Nikhil Satish and Riaz Anajay.
Under Secretary General of Administration, Siddhant Anand and Lipika S.
Charge d'affaires, Adi Jain.
Director General Suhani Agarwal.
Secretary General, Dhruv Deshpande.
Thank you, Ms. Priyadarshini Das. Congratulations to the OC for hosting such an unforgettable conference.
We now present to you a montage of CANMUN 2023. Hope you enjoy.
Finally, it is time for the most awaited segment of the closing ceremony. present the awards. First, we would like to call upon the EB of UNSC.
Good evening, everyone. At the outset, keeping speeches short is not really my strong suit, but I'm going to try to keep this as concise as I can. I would really like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the entire team at Candor for having me. The faculty advisors, the OC, the secretariat. I was a last minute hire for Candor and I'm so glad that I agreed to come here because it was an incredible and an indescribable experience getting to chair the SC. Safe to say there was not a single dull moment in our committee, and not to brag guys, but I think the executive board just saved the world from plunging into World War III. So, delegates of UNSC, in all honesty, you were fiery, you were filled with zest and pep, and you ensured that you kept your executive board on their toes and you got your money's worth from the both of us. And I would also sincerely like to appreciate my amazing vice chair, Aditya. He's a true testament to a graduate of Candor because he returns after being the secretary as a vice chair, and he's been an incredibly supportive, incredibly competent and very well researched vice chair. I could not have asked for a better co-executive board member to share the dice with. I think that's as far as my remarks go. I always speak off the cuff and I always make a gaffe. So without messing up my speech, I would just hand it over to my vice chair to announce the honorable mentions.
Good evening, guys. It's good to be back. I just have to say that the delegates in the SC were absolutely fabulous. Every single one of them was extraordinary. We had phenomenal debate. We had so much passion in our committee, but now I'll get to the part you're waiting the most for, mentioning the awards. We have 3 verbal mentions for their amazing diplomacy, their documentation skills, as well as their preparedness within the committee. Ranveer Singh Parihar for the United Kingdom, Anisha Gupta for Ecuador, and Shri Sasta Ramesh for Pakistan.
Delegates who've gotten the verbal mentions, congratulations to you. You can just stand in your places, and I request the audience to please acknowledge their efforts. Valiant efforts, incredible diplomatic skills. Congratulations, delegates. And now moving on to the big 3 awards. The honorable mention goes to a delegate who had the entire committee lobbied right behind her, and she managed not just to introduce her own DR but to face the DR of the only other competition she had. The honorable mention goes to the delegate of the Russian Federation. Moving on to high commendation, if we are discussing a conflict between the 2 most polarizing and divisive countries in the world, I think this delegate did justice to their role, to their portfolio, with immaculate knowledge about the issue and with impressive presentation of their portfolio. The high commendation goes to the delegate of Armenia. moving on to the best delegate. This is the first time I've seen a delegate not pass a draft resolution and yet beat the odds by a huge margin, which is just a testament to just how impeccable, just how strong-willed, and just how extraordinary he was as a delegate. Without a doubt, the best delegate goes to the delegate of Azerbaijan.
We would now like to call the EB of UNEB.
Delegates, I wasn't there on day one, but on day two I got to observe everyone. And I think the committee was like so good on day two, and everyone was so well prepared, and it was so hard to honestly pick awards because the debate in the committee was so stimulating and everyone was so well prepared. And can I have a huge round of applause for our moderator, Tejas, for being the best moderator? Okay, Tejas, can you do it?
So I'll be reading out the verbal mentions for UNEP. First we have Tia Jain for the delegate of Denmark. And Mavis Carroll for the delegate of USA. Lieutenant Kyan for the delegate of United Arab Emirates. And Manik Hegde for the delegate of Argentina.
So for commendable delegate, honestly, on the start of day two, I thought this delegate was going to get BD, but then she made a lot of controversial statements in committee and had to write the replies against her, and she got gagged twice. But this delegate was honestly so amazing, and if not for like her negative marking in her resolution, she would have got BD. Tulip Sinha, delegate of the United Kingdom, gets the honorable mention. The honorable mention goes to Ritvik, the delegate of Saudi Arabia. The high commendation goes to the delegate of Saudi Arabia. For best delegate, this delegate was honestly so amazing from the start of the session. He made the best speeches, even his resolution was one of the best resolutions I've ever seen. And he had the best solutions. So the best delegate goes to Abhay Agarwal, the delegate of Canada.
Next, we would like to call upon stage the EB of CCC.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So, CCC, it was honestly, I'll be fully honest. First day, it wasn't great at all. I was getting a bit bored. But on the second day, you guys did so well. I was actually, it made my mood better. I don't know how I don't know how you do that, how you guys do that, but you managed it, so thank you. Now, just before I announce the awards, I'd just like to thank a few people. First, Candor and DOC, and Suhani and Dhruv for having me here. Thank you guys. And Denisa for being a great logistics member. And lastly but not least, Sneh for being a great chair. He was very communicative and very competent, and he was a perfect chair. Now, for the awards, oh no, crisis update, oh my god. Alright, so, final crisis update of this company. The Serbian kingdom, with all its turmoil and its militant support for the Black Hand, lost confidence in Peter I and attempted a massive coup. But considering the incompetency of the Royal Serbian Army and the Palace Guards, the coup failed while also weakening security all around the country. international ties were cut with the Serbian kingdom's recognition. International ties were cut and the Serbian kingdom's recognition was retracted by virtually every state. Apis, the one-eyed tyrant, intercepted all operatives returning to Belgrade and used them and tracked them all down, as well as their handlers, and led them to a tragic and horrifying cannibalistic demise. Fueled by impatience rather than passion, the others attempted a coup on Serbia, but ironically didn't see Apis and his loyal Bulgarian forces coming, leading to the death leading to the death. On the fateful date of 25th of December 1909, Christmas Eve, our committee died, and with it the idea of unifying Serbia. So, good job. I guess you could see it as committee succeeding. Sorry, your choice. Anyways, so now actually the awards. Firstly, I'll announce the verbal mention. This delegate was great, but I feel like they had a lot more in them, but maybe slacked off a little bit. But for sure, they had a lot of quality in them. This is the Roshan Sankar, representing the handle of Montenegro. Next up, the honorable mention. This delegate was a little silent on the first day, but picked up so well on the second day, I was really impressed. Mehika Jansaki of representing Hungary. Right, so next up, the High Commendation. This delegate, with his first speech, impressed me so much, I was almost sure he's going to win BD. And, you know, I was really sure, honestly. But then, in the end, it just worked out for him to get a high commendation. But he was nevertheless amazing. Ishan Warrior, founder of CANMUN magazine. So, best delegate, Ishan Boyer, congratulates you. And I think he knows who he is. But anyways, this delegate, he acted all innocent. But then, by his crisis notes, he backstabbed every single person in committee, furthered his own interest, which is literally what crisis is all about. So I'm very proud of the delegate, Dakshish Silakesh, representing Greece.
Next, we would like to call upon stage the EB of Sokam.
Man, that was loud. If anyone could make the Social Culture Humanitarian Committee the most eventful committee for the past 2 days, it's you guys, for sure. I'd like to thank Candor International for inviting us in the executive board. It's such a huge honor. And also, my little buddy Dhruv, back in school, he was just delegate when I was chairing for Soccer, and today, Set Jet from Candor, CANMUN 2020, you have grown a long way. I am so proud of you. Keep this going. Our committee was so eventful. You won't believe this, it started off with a chit to remove China from the map. Second, DPRK publicly confessed that children are only protected during the day. What happens at night, I don't know. And after committee ended, we made this an SC. USA donated nuclear weapons to everyone. China got nuked, Russia got nuked. And Germany was on the side eating chocolate. Typical Germany. I'd not like to keep you guys waiting for long. The awards are waiting for you. We have the vice chairperson and the moderator to bring them forward.
So, for the verbal mentions, we have the delegate of Cambodia, the delegate of Italy, the delegate of Afghanistan, the delegate of France, the delegate of Belgium, and the delegate of Georgia.
executive board's face. And after every speech was testament to that. This is the delegate of Armenia. Moving on to the top two delegates of the committee. The point difference between these two delegates was extremely close. These two delegates were well researched, they were very tricky in their point of informations, and they put forth like a really comprehensive working paper on each block. The high commendation for SOCM this year is the delegate of USA. Best delegate for soccer. She bombarded the EB with a lot of chits based in numerous point of information. Her speeches were well detailed, it addressed the agenda, and though she admitted to a couple of human rights violations in the press conference, she handled herself pretty well in committee. The best delegate for soccer is the delegate of China.
We would now like to call upon the EB of International Press Corps.
Good evening, guys. Firstly, it's an honor to be present here as the head of international press at CANMUN 2023. I have nothing but the deepest of gratitude for the school's faculty, the OC members, our logistics members and volunteers, my vice chair and the head of photography. This month has been an amazing experience, not just for me, but I hope all of you thoroughly enjoyed what the international press has done at this conference. How many of you enjoyed the press conferences? Just give it a loud shout, guys. Alright guys, that's an amazing response. Thank you guys so much. The press conferences were honestly such a big highlight of this month, and I'm sure you guys would have thoroughly enjoyed them. Now coming to the reporters and journalists, we had some amazing journalists who have put their blood, sweat and tears into writing articles, putting out what happened in your committee on paper. I have this saying that the pen is mightier than the sword, and this is something I stand by, because putting down what you want on a piece of paper preserves it for lifetime, right? Its legacy remains. Let's see some of the most important documents in history. They're all on pieces of paper. So a round of applause for all the journalists at CANMUN 2023. Alright, thank you guys. Again, the awards don't really represent your skill as a writer or as a journalist. You all have a long way to go, and I'm sure you guys I can see you guys going places in the future. So, we'll quickly get to the awards. Firstly, we'll begin with the verbal mention. Please stand up in your places, guys, and I request the crowd to give them a huge round of applause. In order, we have Bill, ANI, and TAS. Huge round of applause for these reporters, guys. Now coming to the honorable mention, this reporter was very thorough with her questions. The reporter made sure she stuck to her policy thoroughly. Also produced some very good pieces which you guys will find in the newsletter, which will be released soon. The honorable mention of the international press goes to the journalist of Reuters. I'll hand it over to my vice chair.
Okay, so I'm really bad at speeches, so please bear with me. The top two questions. The high commendation goes to Saudi Press Agency. The Best Journalist Award goes to a journalist whose citation puts me in shame, a GPR student. So her featured article had both the head of press and me rolling on the floor with laughter. The Best Journalist Award goes to the New York Times. Over to the head of photojournalism.
Guys, also, I've never had a more competent vice chair as Ananya in like my career of MUNs. So, as a token of excellence, I'd like to produce this gavel for Ananya.
Now for our photojournalists, first we will start with our verbal mentions. We have Khushi Dinesh and Bhaginik Zala. For our honorable mention, we have Kanu Srinivasan. Now there was also only 1 point difference between our first and second positions. Our high commendation goes to Abhijit Krishnan. And lastly, some of the best photos that we have had this year, taken by Dhwani Raghavan.
Next, we would like to call upon stage the EB of DC Fictional Committee.
So I'm pretty sure we might have the smaller committee, but we had the most eventful committee, I can guarantee you that. With so many of our characters who did not care about the multiverse collapsing until they realized they have to relocate their nightclub. And
off pretty slowly on the first two sessions of day one, but the delegates were smart enough and had the potential to pick up over the remainder of day one as well as day two. There was a marked improvement in how they performed, both in their speeches as well as their committee awareness as well as their activeness present in asking points of information, and along with the directives for the crisis. At the end of the crisis, we had the heroes fail to save the multiverse, with the Batman Who Loves and his Dark Knights of Despair take over and annihilate the Justice League. We will now proceed with the top 3 awards, beginning with honorable mention to the man who got absorbed by his mother and returned as Aquaman, Monitor Aksharan Rani. The high commendation going to one of the best speakers in committee. The amount of emotion that he conveyed when his wife and children were murdered in the crisis. He swore to absorb the sons of different universes to ensure that he could exact his revenge. We have the high commendation, Superman Aditya Sahu. Finally, now for the best delegate. This character was the one who was the most dedicated and the most aware in committee. In every one of his speeches, he would make a reference to another delegate's speech or a reference to anything that would happen or occur in committee. The only drawback from the delegate was he got his medical license revoked and went from Dr. Faith to Mr. A. Hiren Arora, best delegate.
Before we go, I'd like to thank the entire fabulous OC and the faculty of CANMUN from mine and my chair's behalf. Thank you so much.
Next, we would like to call upon stage the EB of Dissect.
Alright, good evening everyone. I'm Darsh, I was the co-chair for this committee. I was pretty much a last minute replacement and it was a pretty short decision for me as to come here or not. And I'm glad that I made a positive decision to come here because the hospitality of the organizing committee, the school, Candor International has been amazing. All the delegates, even though you're from schools, you have done an amazing job handling such a difficult topic in terms of illicit arms trade. Dicing is generally a very technical committee. It depends on a lot of legality. But as school kids, you did not disappoint me. You did a great job in terms of bringing out whatever the concerns are of this committee and whatever we should work towards. Alright, so without further ado, we'll be moving to awards. Yeah, I'll hand over to my co-chair, Yashmi Butnalkar.
say dissect was definitely the most fun committee at CANMUN. I'm sure everybody's going to agree with that. So the verbal mentions in a particular order are the delegate of Brazil, delegate of Pakistan, delegate of Russia, delegate of USA, delegate of Ukraine, delegate of Liberia, delegate of Indonesia, and the delegate of UK. Congrats, guys. Good stuff, guys. Now to move on to the third place, the honorable mention, I call upon our moderator, Anirudh.
So the honorable mention of the dissect committee this year goes to Ankita, the delegate of Sudan.
Alright guys, for the high commendation, I think this delegate was one of the most active delegates in committee and really brought forward a lot of legal pointers, great solutions and generally a lot of enthusiasm to the table. The high commendation goes to the delegate of Iran.
So our best delegate was a delegate who defended the undefendable. I didn't know such an entity could even have a foreign policy, but he proved me wrong. Somehow this group had a foreign policy and it was a damn good foreign policy. He defended each and everything so well. He convinced us that women only required education till 6th grade. The best delegate goes to delegate of Afghanistan. Delegates, if you have any queries regarding feedback or mark sheet, you can meet us after the closing ceremony. Thank you so much.
Now we call upon stage the EB of UNHRC.
Greetings to everyone present here. The UNHRD was a slow committee from the start. Day 1 was slightly disappointing, but Day 2 was very satisfied with not just how the committee went forward with the pace and it's about how the delegates improved. Though Day 1 was pretty disappointing, Day 2 was very impressive at how the delegates took back state to organize CANMUN. I'd also like to thank my moderator for being extremely helpful, and of course the co-chair too, who had the right to moderate it all.
Thank you. So the verbal mentions are Dhruv Krishnan, delegate of Belgium, and Brijesh P, delegate of Japan. These were delegates and also, as well as Karan Amol Ranjakar, delegate of the United States. These were delegates who put in effort and were active participants in the committee.
Moving on to the honorable mention and high commendation. The honorable mention, this delegate held his foreign policy incredibly well. He defended his foreign policy incredibly well. This delegate of Saudi Arabia, moving on to the high commendation, this delegate really had the best point of information, and the point margin between the high commendation and best delegate was very close. The high commendation goes to Ayan Chakrabarti, the delegate of Georgia.
Can you hear me? Am I audible? I think I am. So it has been my pleasure to actually come chair at Candor and it has been a great experience. I've traveled 44 kilometers every day, every single day to come here chair, and it has been an absolute bliss, completely worth it. Hats off to the organizing committee and everyone responsible for this month. Can we just show how much we can appreciate these guys? Really huge round of applause, yeah? Thank you so much. Also, it has been a tradition in my committees wherever I go chair that I hand over the gavel to my moderator as a token of respect to the work that the moderator puts in, and the recognition that the moderator gets in the committee is not as much as the vice chairperson or the co-chairperson or the chairperson. So I'd like to take this time to hand over the gavel to the moderator of our committee, the UNHRC, which is Ria, right? So if you could please come on stage. So with that being said, HRC again is the last committee to hand out awards. It is said that the best is always saved for last, and UNHRC was the best committee. I have given away multiple speeches to my delegates in committee, and I would not like to give any more further speeches to these guys. They'll be like, yeah, can this guy please step off the stage? So without any further ado, the best delegate of UNHRC goes to Sudipti, the delegate of Ukraine. Delegates wishing for a personal feedback, please do find me or Sai or Riva right there or there. We'll be giving you personal feedback as well, and share the mark sheet probably tonight or tomorrow morning. Thank you guys.
Congratulations to all the delegates who have won awards. Big round of applause for all the participants, whether you have won or not. It is your hard work and dedication that matters. Thank you once again for your participation in CANMUN 2023. We would now like to call up Dhruv Deshpande, the Secretary General of this year's CANMUN, to say a few words.
members Kaustubh Sheshadri, Rohan Nagesh Rao, and Saishan Kataria for being wonderful EB members. And obviously, a huge congratulations to all of the EB members as well. Due to public demand, this award was given, but all of the committees were fantastic, debates were very fruitful, and most importantly, the solutions were very good as well. Greetings, respected senior management team members, teachers, executive board members, my fellow secretariat members, and of course, all of you delegates. As we conclude CANMUN 2023, I stand before you as the Secretary General to express my gratitude and admiration for the remarkable work you all have accomplished. In just 2 days, we have witnessed passionate debates, creative solutions, and the embodiment of diplomacy in action. I would like to commend each and every one of you for your dedication, your commitment to understanding diverse perspectives, and your tireless efforts in crafting resolutions that address pressing global issues. You have demonstrated that diplomacy and cooperation can indeed pave the way for a better world. As we leave this conference and return to our respective homes and communities, let us not forget the lessons we have learned here. Let us all carry forward the spirit of collaboration and empathy that has defined our time together here at CANMUN 2023. The challenges facing our world are great, but together we are greater. I encourage you to continue your engagement in global issues, to seek out opportunities, to make a positive impact, and to never lose the sight of the principles of the United Nations: peace, security, human rights, and development. In closing, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the respected senior management team members and our MUN faculty teachers who have given me this opportunity to showcase my skill sets to make this conference a success. I would also like to thank my fellow organizing committee members and the executive board members as well. Your hard work and dedication have not gone unnoticed. Let us depart from this conference with a renewed sense of purpose and a commitment to work together for a better future. Thank you, and may we all continue to strive for a world of unity, understanding, and cooperation. I hereby declare the 6th edition of Candor International School's Model United Nations closed.